Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully all of you are doing well out there. I'm, of course, your host, the Turtles Blitz, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about World of Tanks Blitz, and is it growing or dying as a game? Now, as we all know, the original game, World of Tanks PC, which this is, of course, based on, came out just about 10 years ago, which is really, really impressive, and very impressive that the game is still running to date. However, one sad thing about World of Tanks PC, especially after watching some of the numbers and the charts of the game, is that it's losing a lot of people every single year. In fact, over the past 10 years, this game has managed to lose, or not this game, but World of Tanks PC has managed to lose over 1 million players. It's gone from one of the most popular games, the most watched on Twitch starts, and the most watched on YouTube, to becoming one of the lesser known games, which is unfortunate, and I really don't like to hear that. However, is World of Tanks Blitz falling into that same fate, or is it actually growing in the community? So, I do have the Steam charts for the game. Unfortunately, I don't have the charts for the Android and the Apple Store and other stores like that because, yeah, they're just not available to the public. However, we do have the Steam charts where I have, as you can see here, the numbers of the people playing the game during certain time periods, if it's going up or going down. So, we're going to be breaking into this. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. But, of course, let's get straight into this. And this is, of course, something that holds really big sentiments to me because this is what I make a living off of currently. As of COVID, I can't work outside of my house. So currently I'm making money and a living off of YouTube, which means that the videos that I'm posting hopefully are going to continue to stay popular and relevant as the game grows, or hopefully is not shriveling up. So of course, this is when the game came out. October 2016 is when it came out to the Steam edition. So obviously not the most people were playing it. This is probably devs and other people. So they had about 997 people on when it first released. Then, of course, we moved on to November 2016. There's already 2,800 people. Then December, you can see 4,000 people, 4,600. So it kind of goes up, and then as you can see, drops down. So we're averaging about 4,000 people. But then on October 2017, so just about a year later, we have finally reached 6,500 people. And then you can see it never drops below about 6,000 until it just doesn't. It really doesn't ever drop below 6,000. We peak up at 8,700. As you can see, at the most, we had 19,000 people on at this time, and as you can see here as well, the most people on, it just keeps climbing and climbing and climbing, which is something that I find really, really good for the game. And of course, this isn't too long ago. This is 2018. This is just about 3 years ago now. And as you can see, the numbers are about 6,900, so they're still climbing. Now we've hit the first 9,000, so we're going up from 9,000 people now, down to 8,000, but now it will never breach 7,000. So again, at 2019, we're growing in people, and you'll continue to see that trend. If we zoom out here, you will continue to see that trend of growing in people. 18,000 people now. In 2020, it doubled in numbers since 2019. That is ridiculous. How many people? And currently, as you can see, we are still getting massive numbers of people. From October to November, we went up 4,000, and then from November to December, we went up another 4,000. Now, in the last 30 days, we have lost a little bit of people, but that's probably because we haven't really seen that many updates coming into the game, and as well, December is the Blitz Fair. Every December, you'll notice there's a lot of people going on. In fact, more than every other year combined. Every December, there's just more people on than the month before. So there is definitely more people on this December, but there's more people on this year ever since before. And if we take a look at the all-time, you can see that number just going up and up and up. It does have some steep slopes, or it can go down every now and then, but currently, it is at the highest it's ever been. Even though it looks like it's low there, that's not actually true, because as you can see, 21,000 people. So really, really good for this game. It keeps growing in people over the years, which is something that I'm happy about, because that means I can continue making videos on this game, knowing that at least I can make somewhat of a living off of it. Not gonna have to worry. As well, you'll notice that the Blitz Fair keeps going up, not the Blitz Fair, sorry, I'm losing my mind. The Twister Cup keeps going up in money every single year. And by the way, this shot on the Kronwagen was, oh, just watch this. What the absolute heck. No clue how that penned. But the thing that I was really nervous about is, I remember about a year ago, and I did make a video on this about a year ago as well, but I had watched Quickie Baby's video talking about World of Tanks PC, where he brought up the World of Tanks charts, and the charts, yes, my English is fantastic. But on the charts, he pretty much said how wow, the game is dying, and there's not as many people ever playing the game than it used to be. And the Swedish Tanks, when they came out in World of Tanks PC, brought a lot of people in, but it's just sad to see that such a strong and momentous game is losing its flame in the actual PC universe. But since World of Tanks Blitz is a mobile game, you'll notice that it's a lot faster paced than PC. That's the reason why I personally don't like PC, is that it gets quite boring after a while. You just kind of play it, and you're like, meh, yeah, I played and I had a little bit of fun, but it gets so boring on World of Tanks PC after such a long time, which can be a bit tedious. You know, I really don't like sitting in the back of the map. So World of Tanks Blitz is fun, it's action-packed, and of course, I think it keeps a lot of younger people, the newer generation of people, it's keeping on the game. A lot of older World of Tanks players, you know, the game started 10 years ago. So let's say somebody that started playing the game when they were, I don't know, 15, when they started playing it, it just came out. Well, those people are now 25. They're working jobs. So that's probably why most people that played the game are not playing anymore, because they're not getting any newer people. The game isn't as popular as it used to be because it doesn't attract the newer audience of people. At the first time when that game came out, is revolutionary. You didn't see stuff like that. But, oh, by the way, that poor WZ, yeah, not too good of a job there for him. But at the time, I just don't think, or currently, should I say at the time, I don't think that people are really interested in World of Tanks PC anymore because it's such a long grind. And I know any of you that have probably tried the game or played the game and gone to Blitz know that PC is such a tedious grind. The crew skills, Sixth Sense, all of these things that you have to unlock, mastering each one of your crew members, leveling them up, and then you've got to research each tank component, and you've got to spend credits on them as well. It's such a ridiculous amount of time and effort. It could take you literally 4 or 5 months, like it took me to get one singular tier 10 on PC, which it shouldn't be. You want to keep people playing the game. And granted, while you want to have good people playing at tier 10 as well, I think Blitz has it at least nailed to a certain degree that you keep people playing the game. As you'll notice, a lot of people, as I said on those charts, more and more people are coming into the game, and it seems less and less are leaving every single year, which is great. You'll see a lot of people, I don't think in this battle, no, we don't have any of this battle, but you'll see a lot of people with a 5-year avatar in Blitz. And it is something good to see that a lot of newer people are staying in this game, and a lot of older people are continuing to play. But, on the contrary, there are a lot of things that World of Tanks Blitz needs to fix, like the matchmaker. Like how you'll notice one team will get 3 tier 10 tank destroyers, perfect example, this battle. The enemy team has a Foch 155, a Grill F-15, and a Jagdpanzer 100, and my team has a tier 9 and a tier 10 tank destroyer. We've got 2 lights, and they've got 2 lights as well, but one's a tier 9. And I think that the matchmaker really messes up certain types of vehicles, like an AMX 50B. They'll match that up with an AMX M454, which of course aren't really comparable at all. So they'll give one team an advantage for one thing and one team an advantage for another. I feel that most teams in Blitz should be very balanced on the vehicles they have. Not necessarily player skill. I don't think player skill is something that's important at all. Because, yeah, why should you base games on player skill? A lot of people always say, make the matchmaker place good players against good players. Well, what happens when you get 2 60%ers against each other? Well, if you average that out, that means that, yeah, you're going to get 2 50%ers, which then would be thrown back into the 50%er algorithm until they turn back into 60%ers, which would be quite useless. That's why you can't do an algorithm like that. It's one of the more useless ways to, you know, just funnel out people. I think the matchmaker is fine the way it is. Now, if you've got people with like 39% win rates, those people should not exist. Anybody that has a 39% win rate out there, you need to get better, because it's sad that somebody can sit and play 20,000 games and not learn anything about the battle. And usually, a lot of these people will have 20, 30,000 games, and I'll have people that always ask, well, how is it possible that somebody can have 30,000 battles and only, you know, 20 or 30% win rate? Well, the reason is what they'll do is they'll lose a game. You know, let's say a 30%er, well, their average battle probably lost, yes. They're probably dying in maybe a minute or a minute and 30 seconds. They're driving into the battle. They're probably all balls to the walls, and then they die. And then what they'll do is they'll pull out their second premium tank, and then they'll do it again. They'll die. And then they'll go back to their original tank. Then they'll do it and die. And they'll rack up battles super duper quickly because they're just dying so incredibly quickly. So, yeah, it's one thing that is kind of sad, is that a lot of people will just, you know, especially not good ones, is instead of learning how to get better, they'll just play the game for fun, which I respect. I understand that people play the game for fun, but to a certain degree, I don't respect people that will play this game to a certain extent where they'll just die and then they'll load into another battle. They won't care, they'll die, they'll load into another battle. They won't read their chat. You know, there's people that, and I know a lot of you probably out there as well, you'll message somebody on your team, you'll be like, please push here. Or, you know, you're dead, and you're trying to give them a little bit of advice. You know, there's a guy with 15 health left, and he's in the E100, and you're like, okay, shoot HE, you'll kill the guy. and he just won't shoot HE. He ignores you. Yeah, those are the kind of people that should not exist in this game because they are not only a nuisance to the game's community, but as well, they don't actually add anything to the game apart from money that Wargaming probably likes. So there are a couple things that I think need to be changed on the game. As I said, like the matchmaker, the player base. I think the chat needs to be fixed. I don't like the toxicity in this game. Of course, I'll get angry now and then. A lot of people that will probably see me die if I get absolutely butt smacker. Like there was a game I was playing in my AMX M454 today where I was on Winter Malinowka and I pushed right up to the building that's on heavy side. I was in my AMX M4, which of course is one of the strongest tier 10s currently in the game. In fact, that dead one I'm passing right now. Well, it turns out that my medium and light tank, well, my Batchat 25T decided not to spot mediums. So what happened was they had a Vickers light and a T22 platoon, and pretty much I got farmed in the side. I couldn't back up because the Jagdpanzer was looking at me, and I was just dead. So my game was over. I did 400 damage. So those types of games are the ones that really annoy me because people don't understand the roles of their tanks, and people need to. Wargaming needs to make a tutorial system, not like, I know they are making a new tutorial, but not only do they need to make a new tutorial, but they need to make it in a way where you get 100 gold or 10 gold for watching a 10-minute video where it teaches you how to play. That is something that you need to have. Now, this battle, by the way, this was one of the most nerve-wracking battles I've had in a while. As you can see, 5,500 damage already, and yeah, this is actually a really, really clutch game that I might actually win, as you'll see. So we'll see if I do end up winning this battle. But already it was a 1 versus 4 when it started because my teammate just died when I killed my AMX. And, well, we'll see just exactly what I can do. Unfortunately, this HE just didn't want to finish off that Yag. But nonetheless, this game was fantastic. But talking about Blitz, I'm happy that it's growing. But it's growing in players that aren't 100% knowing what to do. When the Blitz Fair came out this year, and we had the highest peak of players ever, there's a reason why all of those players were bad. It's because they're mostly newer players, or they're people that want to get these takes that they think are overpowered, and then they'll play in them and they'll ruin your battles because they just don't understand the game. People that watch videos and think that, oh, because the Smasher's overpowered, I'll do good in it, raising my win rate. Yeah, that's not necessarily the memento you need to get better at the game. The way to get better is to actually learn. You need to be like, oh, look, this guy's got a reload of blah, blah, blah. Oh, look, I know where the weak spot is on this guy. I'll shoot him in the lower plate. Those are things that Blitz needs. And the fact that we don't have them right now is annoying. There are people that are good. You know, there's people out there. There's a lot of 60%ers, a lot of 50%ers. I don't mind if you're a 50%er because you're at least understanding basics of the game. You know how to penetrate. You know how to back up. You know how to shoot. You know how to drive. There's people, though, that you'll watch, and their aiming is so incredibly bad. There was one game that I actually saw the worst player I've ever seen in the game. A full health 183 could not kill a 25 health Batchat 25T that was circling him for literally 2 minutes. Yeah, it was sad, and he wouldn't shoot HE. It was depressing. That's all I'm going to say, but yeah, Blitz can be very irritating at sometimes, and the Blitz concept of the game is a great idea. I always say this. Blitz is a great concept. Having people play 7 versus 7 tanks, it's such a good idea. It keeps you engaged. It's fun, unlike World of Tanks PC where it gets quite boring. It's fun in Blitz. It's entertaining. You can keep swapping in and out of battles. I don't like the players that play this game because they can bring down other people's happiness. One thing I always read is that being better at a game actually makes you like it less because you try and strive to be better. But when other people bring you down, it just makes you stressed and angry. And yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed today's video. As always, if you want to see more like it, please let me know in the comments down below. But other than that, hopefully all of you are doing well out there. I'm happy that Blitz is still growing. Let me know if you guys are too. But other than that, hopefully all of you are doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, to be seeing you in the next one.